4, recorded on Thursday, July 16th, 2015. Bam.
Bam.
With that horribly nasally Shannon voice.
How are you feeling?
I feel great. I've been running this week, actually.
Really? Good.
I choke a little, but, you know, I get through it.
Wait, what part of running constitutes choking?
Just the breathing part.
Oh, okay.
One of these weird new obstacle run things.
Yeah, where I have to breathe. No.
In your neighborhood?
Yeah.
Who's putting these? Are you just jumping over people's cars?
No, I just, from getting over the lung virus that, like, caused me to be sick for a month. I still have to take cough medicine. I still have to take cough medicine at night because when I lay flat, I still choke at night.
Oh my gosh,
it's really bad. Yeah, the one doctor said there's. Okay, I'll just, since this is where the music goes anyway. So my aunt, who's getting, like, my grandma's had this for like 4 or 5 weeks, and then my aunt had it for like 2 weeks longer than her, and she wasn't getting over it, and so she is actually recovering. She's kind of getting over her chemotherapy from her breast cancer, which is all fine now. It's all fine.
Good.
Now. But
awesome.
But she went to her specialist because she was afraid that it damaged her lungs because she was not getting over this virus, and it had been like 6 weeks. And he told her, no, you know, he checked her out, and he's like, no, there's nothing wrong with your lungs. There is a really strong virus going around right now, that a viral infection that takes 6 to 8 weeks to get over, even with antibiotics. So I'm out of antibiotics. Like I went through them all. Yeah. So I'm just started running anyway, and I'm on week 4, day 2 today.
Yeah.
So I'm doing good. There's a C to 5K program redoing that.
Oh, good.
So
I'm still on the C part.
Yeah. That's the best part.
I see people run.
The couch is awesome. That segment I nailed, had it down pat. Yeah, but tomorrow I'm gonna run again and take my son and drag him along with me. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he'll love it.
Come on, Mom.
I'll finish week 4 tomorrow.
All right.
Anyway,
can't get into this exercise stuff.
Jason inspired me. He actually ran a half marathon this week. So
you did?
Yeah.
What? Distance. I didn't run like a formal.
He didn't like sign up for one, but he like tracked it with his GPS and all that. Like. So, but he did it. He ran 13.1 miles at once.
Like he drove next to it and tracked it? Look at all these people running. Crazy.
Here, hold my watch.
Hey, take this. I'll meet you at the end.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, we want to get into what we've been, what we are drinking, what we've been drinking for the week.
I think we have to say hello, right?
What?
No.
Sure. Welcome to the MMO Show, everybody.
Hello.
It's been an amazing week.
It's been a wild ride.
It has been. Lots to talk about tonight, including Rad, Gleaming the Cube, and other such fun 80s movies.
All the hits.
Later on in the show, we will get into talking a little bit more about Rocket League and Clash of Clans. But before we get into the MMO talk, let's talk about what we're drinking tonight. Jason, what are you sipping on?
I'm mixing it up.
What?
I have a Di Serono on the rocks.
Whoa!
What do you think about
buddy.
that, Steve?
Same as me.
Jealous?
I think it's actually yours, Steve. You left it.
Is it mine?
Yeah, you left it.
You jealous?
I think you guys bought it anyways.
It's like I'm banging your wife drinking this.
I'm not jealous. I have the same thing.
Yeah, he can bang his wife too. Yeah. He doesn't care if you bang his wife.
Wait, I don't?
Awkward.
The drink.
Yeah, the drink banging your wife thing. The metaphor you just used.
This shit is sweet.
It is. And boozy.
I've taken 2 sips of it, and
it's like
it tastes good, but yeah, I'm gonna have to like brush my teeth.
I was just gonna say, don't you always feel like you have to brush your teeth after like really sugary drinks? Like
me?
Anybody?
Yeah.
People with good oral hygiene, I guess.
Yeah.
I just let my teeth fall out, and then there's
then you don't have to worry about it.
Then
there's more room for booze.
Eat some nerds while drinking it.
Put some pineapple on there.
I have some Cinnamon Toast Crunch to go along with it.
Why isn't there a Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavored alcohol? That I have to ask.
That would be good. We need a drink though that we make like called Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should.
Yeah, that sounds good in theory.
You know what? You guys ever have the oatmeal cookie? You know that That it's a drink, but it tastes like an oatmeal cookie.
Heard of it, never had it.
Oh, it's really good, and it totally does taste. And the idea sounds totally bonkers, but it's really good. So I bet you we could make Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah. Shannon, what are you drinking?
I have a Pinot Grigio.
Pinot Grigio. Is it tasty?
Yeah, it's fine. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent?
I'm drinking multiple stuff. Like right now I'm drinking a Select 55 because it's healthy, and I've been on this shake diet with my wife. So for breakfast I have a shake, and then for lunch I eat whatever the hell I want. That kind of makes up for it. And then for dinner I have another shake. Yeah. And that's life. Life's getting much slower.
We did that. We did juicing. And so, like, yeah, it was kind of similar where we had juicing, but we did it for 3 meals a day, and we did it for 10 days. It was, yeah, you lost like 15 pounds, but
in a week.
You,
your shits, my God.
Yeah, you really go to the bathroom a lot those first 4 days. And, but you don't, you know, it's not like something you can maintain, and it's always like you have to pick out like 10 days where you have no social obligations because you can't go out to dinner with anybody, you know.
Right. But, I don't have friends anyway, so dinner's kind of out. It'll work, I think.
Yeah.
If I don't stab someone before it's over.
I wonder if the beer will hit you.
That's the problem.
The beer might really affect you more than you realize.
You're welcome. Should be a good show, right?
Woo! Yeah, let's do this.
Wait for a few more, and then I just started a couple days ago. So
when you first said shake diet, I thought maybe you meant that like your wife would just shake the hell out of you for a while, and then you'd shake the shit out of her for a while.
That's not a diet. That's abuse.
Exercise.
Hey, whatever gets you to lose the weight.
That's right. That's right. So that's what I'm drinking.
Cool.
Is that everyone? Everybody's drinking.
That's everybody's stuff. Let's get into what's been going on in MMO land in the past week. I watched Jason stream.
What did he stream?
Skyforge.
Yes.
What'd you think?
I thought it looked interesting. I don't know that I like how instanced the game was.
Yeah.
But it looks good.
Yeah, you saw some more of the like story missions. It does open up a tiny bit. There's open areas, which I don't know if I might have streamed part of that, where you go into like a hub, an area that has quests that you kind of run around and pick up stuff. But it's not like a full on open MMO.
Right.
The more I played it, though, the more I was enjoying it. The combat got to be fun, and checking out some of the different classes, which I switched a couple during the stream, was pretty cool. They are definitely unique and have some interesting abilities that work pretty well with the mouse and keyboard. You can use controller as well, but
it looked very unique. Like overall, the game seemed like the weapons were really out of this world, and the environment was kind of a mix of future and I don't want to say future and fantasy, but it had like greenery to it, and it also had very like industrial looking.
It reminded me somewhat of Mass Effect.
Yeah, kind of.
In some there's more fantasy, but yeah, it kind of some of the tech really, and the music as well, kind of remind me of Mass Effect. But
faces were weird.
Yeah. But I was kind of down on it when I first played it, and then playing a little bit more over the weekend. I think I'm going to play more, and it's going to be free, I think.
Yeah, it might actually already be.
It might be, or maybe tomorrow.
It's coming up soon. Have you played this, Brent?
I have not. I was actually just looking it up. You can apparently be a god or something.
Yeah. Is it like? Would you say it's PvE, PvP? Like, what's going on there?
Well, the main is PvE, but there is PvP, and I guess they say you can do large scale PvP.
And is it theme park or is it?
It seems more theme park. You get missions and you run them. It doesn't seem like you can go explore and just do whatever you want.
Okay, and I was kind of typing up and searching when you first said it, but you may have already said it. But I've heard it's like it's a mix of sci-fi and then like fantasy, right?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of got the Mass Effect feel, but there's also some higher fantasy themes and stuff with gods.
Sorry if I made you repeat that. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And this is by my.com or something. Like they do a game called Jungle Heat that I used to play. It's kind of like Clash of Clans.
Yeah, it's the first game I've ever played from them.
And they did a World of Speed apparently. No, that's coming soon. So that's not the World Need of Speed.
World of Speed.
So they're getting into cars too. You can be a god car.
There you go.
Is it an MMO based on the Keanu Reeves movie?
Yeah.
You gonna be a boat or a bus? Those are the two classes.
I think we played World of Tanks once, didn't we?
I did.
Oh god, I hate that game. Did you like that game?
I didn't actually play it, but yeah.
I like tanks.
I hate pineapples.
What? No.
Since you like that game now, I'm sorry. I have such a hatred for that stupid game.
I never played that one.
I think the reason why is we went to E3 and these guys had real tanks everywhere. Not just like one booth, but like 2 outside, 3 inside, throwing out all this stuff. And I was like, man, this is going to be an awesome game, right? Because people who throw this much money around. And then I played it like the first time and like you die and you stay dead until the game's over and then you start up. Like I was done. I hated it.
Very kind of Counter-Strike in that way.
But yeah. I'm a jerk like that. So.
Yeah, Steve played a bunch of it, I think.
Yeah, I did. Son even was getting into it for a little bit. He loved watching me play. I think it was a little too complicated for him at the time, but he really dug watching me play that game because he likes tanks like his daddy. So,
well, did you do the plane one that they made?
I saw that. There's that one, and there's another game that kind of has both at the same time, and I'm having a hard time remembering what it's called now.
World of Worlds.
World of Worlds.
Where worlds fight.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was good. I'm not as much into the air combat, so I never checked out the plane version.
I can see if you really like tanks a lot, that you could get into the game a lot more than if you were just wanted to kill stuff.
I like that movie.
What's that?
Tank
with
James Garner.
James Garner. Yep.
Yeah, that's a fucking good movie. That's my contribution to the conversation. But yeah, Skyforge. If you like that type of combat,
Skyforge coming this fall.
Yeah, the sky's the limit.
Oh,
if you like, it's kind of like God of War, Devil May Cry combat, so definitely check it out.
It's very actiony, right?
Yeah. It's hack and slash, but there's also some of the other classes have a little bit more casting, and there's some pretty cool stuff with combos that you can do.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to play it. But...
No, you would not like it.
No. But I'm glad it's there for other people to enjoy. So,
absolutely,
it looked actually. I was watching you stream and it did look really good. Like, I mean, graphics wise, it looks
runs really well too.
Yeah, it's really pretty. But
hey, Brent, what have you been enjoying this week?
Oh my God, I have gotten. Okay, so after the last time we talked, I went and I got Guild Wars 2.
Yeah,
downloaded it.
Cool.
And played a night, and then the next day, a good friend of mine who we used to play EverQuest together says, "Hey man, I just started on an EverQuest progression server. Come join me." And I was like, "Okay." So that sucked the last 2 weeks out of my life.
I almost like signed up for the EverQuest progression thing. I had this our friend Grilled Cheese 28. I had him. We were chatting about it, and he's like, "Are you gonna do it?" I'm like, "I'll do it if you do it." He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." And like, it was the day that the progression servers like launched, so it was like you couldn't get in. Like it was like all blocked up. And but then he was like, "Wait a minute, you have to pay for these." I'm like, "Well,
exactly.
Yeah, these are the charged ones." He's like, "Forget it, I'm out." I'm like, "Okay." So I actually never had someone to go play it with, but.
Well, that almost had me too. Like I was like, "Okay, I'll get on," and I downloaded it and. Then I'm like, why don't I see the server? He's like, well, you gotta sign up for the monthly thing. I'm like, that's $15. That's as much as like any like real game. Like this isn't an old game thing. But anyway, I did it anyway, just for shits and grins and giggles and stuff. And that was a hardcore game. I forgot how hardcore EverQuest was. Like I asked a friend, I'm like, I've played no shitting you like 30 hours this week, or in these past 2 weeks of EverQuest. What level do you think I am? They're like, oh God, you must be like 50
12.
by now. 12. I got 13 today. But yeah,
she's the closest about going over.
Basically, and they just looked at me and they're like, "Well, you're kind of stupid for playing the game, then." And I'm like, "I am, but."
I have such great memories of that. Like it's funny. I don't want a game design like that now, but I have great memories of the struggle was real. Like you would go and I would go and spend all day Saturday camping orcs, and you would sit and you would wait for a spot to open up in the encampment, and then they'd bring you in when someone else was logging off, and you'd get in there and do your role and grind it out for like 3-4 hours, just
talking that like point and high
camps.
pass or whatever it was.
I was actually talking about the one in East Commonlands.
Okay,
they had like
and
early
right
out of Freeport. Yeah, and yeah. And then you go turn in the orc belt right in town. There's some dude that wants them, has an orc belt fetish. And
death fish. It was death fish / yes.
I remember. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, I remember there was I cannot remember the place exactly where it was, but there was a guy that would like spawn some crazy rare spawn he spawned by himself in this weird spot. And if you killed him, you had a like 50-50 chance or whatever of getting this book that you could, like as a druid, it had like plus 12 to wisdom or something like that. I can't remember what the stat was that it needed to be, but it was a lot. And it was this offhand book that you could have. And I already had a book for my other hand, and I was like obsessed with, okay, if I get this thing, then I can just have books in both hands as my weapons, and then I'm casting spells. And I sat, and I kid you not, and this was still so long ago that I had the time to be able to do this, but I sat and camped the guy for, I think, 9 hours. Just woke up first thing in the morning and just sat and just waited and waited and waited and waited and was doing other things while I was sitting there, and there was like over the course of the 9 hours, like 3 or 4 people came and was making sure that I wasn't AFK and see if they could like get in on the spot. And finally the guy spawned, I got the book, and it was glorious. Good. Yeah. That was so dumb.
That was like, cause that was like most of our first MMOs, cause you know, it was one of the more popular ones. And I went to work, and there was this guy at work who played, this guy Tony, and I still talk to him today. And even though he moved like across country, but he was telling me, he's like, well, I have the next 3 days off, because he was in this guild called Harmony of Souls on Prexis server, I think it was. And they were like a big deal on their server. And they were doing some major raid, and he took 3 days off work, and because they were doing it, because if I remember correctly, he was a cleric, and that thing dropped like the thing you had to have, like to continue. I don't know, like that for cleric, like you had to have that. And I went home and told Jason about it, because I'm like, that is so like involved, like that's so good. And I remember Jason saying, I would never take off work for a video game. And it's like, yeah.
Who said that?
You did.
I don't know.
Yeah, like the times have just changed us, and now it's like we're like MMOs dropping. I just heard about it yesterday, but I'm taking 3 days off work because I gotta get into this thing.
I'm not gonna play it in a month, but I gotta take work off.
Yeah. And like it was just funny, that difference in, you know, when you, but like I always think about like that, like people who don't play these games must think we're absurd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like when you're asking off and you're like, yeah, the new expansion for WoW's coming out, and they're like, and you're taking off work to
no, you just say like, oh, I'm having my yard dug up or something like that.
Septic
that's
tank,
when I
right?
panic. Like typical me, I would panic and come up with something ridiculous.
He lies,
that have a lot of
like
questions.
at the drop of a hat.
No, not always, but.
What did you tell your dermatologist? When he hadn't been, he missed like 2 appointments, like which is like a 6-month thing. So he hadn't been in like a year, and they were like, "Oh, where you been?" He didn't just say, "Oh, I just didn't need the appointment." What'd you tell her?
Well, I panicked and I said I moved to Colorado. And then she was like, "Oh, I used to live there. Where?" I really felt like George Costanza.
And then why? Why did you move to Colorado?
It was my wife's work, because I didn't want to have to answer any questions about my work.
What did I end up doing?
She didn't ask.
Oh, thank God.
I think she kind of knew when I was like where I lived. Like,
were you looking around the room and being like, John Glass?
Yeah, George Glass.
Yeah, George Glass. That's what it is.
I don't know. I never went back. I had to find a new
now
hotel.
You can't.
And like that, he was gone.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so he doesn't lie.
Pulled a Kaiser Soze on your dermatologist. That's odd.
It's twisted. Anyway.
But okay, question though, Brent, are you enjoying yourself in EverQuest?
I am, oddly enough. I mean, okay, so like I'm a lazy gamer at these points. Like my main PC has been dead for months now, so I play on my laptop, sitting there next to my wife, and we watch TV. So it's so easy to play EverQuest because it's an AFK game, right? I'm a necro. I sit there, I fear kill stuff, and then while I'm waiting for mana, I watch TV
for 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, so it works out well. So that 30 hours, maybe 2 or 3 of actual playing. But
I was about to say 28 hours of waiting for mana to come back.
But it's just some of those just things of like having to buy your spells. Like I will level up.
Oh yeah.
And instead of spending an hour running home, I'm going to buy my spells and take them with me so I can memorize them. So it's been fun.
I remember too, like I used to practice every time I leveled up. I'd practice my swimming and stuff, because there were certain skills in EverQuest. They build up as you use them, like pickpocketing, if you're a rogue, and I was a rogue. And so I'd practice on the one guard in Freeport all the time to get the skill up really high. And I'd swim really a lot. And I remember like there was one, I was with a group and we had to swim. The one girl knew of a hidden thing and you had to swim underwater through a tunnel. And like all of them were almost dead because they had never practiced their swim. They never swam, and so they never built up their skill for it. So all of them were like drowning, and they barely made it to the other side. And I was like over there. I'm like, they're like, how can you swim that fast? I'm like, because I swim and practice it.
I went down to the Y.
It levels up. But anyway,
fishbone-earing suckers.
Totally.
Sorry, that's an item in the game.
Well, have you been playing anything else other than EverQuest this week, or is that just soaked up all the time for you?
Like I said, I played like one night of Guild Wars.
What did you think from your one night?
Honestly, like I'd never seen a video of the game at all, and so my vision of what the game was before I got in there was so totally different. And people are telling me like I must have my graphic settings messed up or something because I really didn't think the graphics were that great.
Really?
They were more of like almost like a Borderlands, like almost cell shaded in some areas, and so maybe I do have some issues because I see your face right now.
The game's actually like bad cheese face.
Yeah, the game's actually like really pretty, and it's got a more painted quality to it. Like everything, it's
a kind of a unique art style. It's kind of hard to pin down. But painted look.
And I'm some weird frog guy who's really ugly, and so I don't. Like, the other part is, like, playing so far back from your character. Like, I'm not used to that in MMOs. Like, I like to be down and close. And
so you must have started in Asura?
Short guys. Short, awesome guys.
I don't know the names.
Short, totally horrible people.
They look like little mice, kind of, or...
They remind me of, like, like a frog guy or something.
Like some short boss motherfuckers, yeah. Asura.
Yeah, you might want to start a Norn instead.
Oh, yeah?
Those are his faves, yeah.
You'll have a better experience, trust me.
Well, if I ever get back to the game. I mean, I'm about the same level there as I am in EverQuest, so it's kind of going at the same rate.
So obviously the Guild Wars is better. You love it.
No.
More levels, better game.
But that's like whenever like I hear someone's like, well, I don't know anything about Guild Wars 2. It's like, well, I have so much to tell you so you understand it, because that game doesn't really hold your hand that much. And it's like you probably don't realize that you need to switch weapons to train up each weapons, and all that stuff. It's not.
They've done a lot with the new player experience.
Have they?
Though.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems a lot more handholdy.
You got to switch weapons.
Yeah, like say you start off with a hammer, and then the more you use it, you open up the skill slots for the hammer skills. But then if you switch and get like, I don't know, a staff, then you would open up those, and if you have an axe, you would open up those, and then you have your offhand too, so you have to open up all your offhand weapons unless you're using a two-handed weapon. Like, there's actually a lot to building your character, and then you figure out like what weapon you need in what type of situation and how you want to build your character and
specking.
Like it gets more detailed that way.
They totally overhauled the spec sheet
That's
as well.
True, since I've played, so I'm talking out of my butt now.
I am not even going to try to get into it because I've been playing a little bit with my daughter this week, and like in between fighting stuff, I keep looking at the sheet and I'm just still trying to make heads or tails of how it's supposed to read to me because it's totally different from what it was. And I haven't really taken the time to research it too much. I just keep opening it up and looking at it like I smell bad cheese again. So, so yeah, but yeah, it's a good game. I definitely, if EverQuest starts to peter out on you, I would recommend checking it out some more. Get away from that Asura. But
stick with EverQuest for a while. Just wallow in something.
Enjoy the old school.
I mean, when they want $14 more from me, that may be a pause.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Sura will never ask for $14 more. I'll tell you that.
No, they do it, what, 50 at a time? Just like, come back. 50.
Oh,
see, no, it's just once.
Oh, no, for the expansion, I think he means coming up.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Of course, you just wait.
Every 3 years.
But it's been 3 years. Like,
that's pretty good.
In their defense.
It hasn't been 3 years for you, but...
Yeah, I know, and I'm going to get the expansion for $50, so it's pretty good. And the original game.
Awesome. Shannon?
Yup.
Still been playing Star Wars?
Yup.
I saw you playing Star Wars.
Did you?
Yeah.
I was very confused.
Why were you confused?
Yeah, I was streaming the other night my Star Wars, The Old Republic experience, and I was getting to this area in the temple on Drummond Cass, and I must not. I thought I had taken all of the little things I had to collect for the mission, and I thought I prayed or did whatever, interacted at each little corner, but I must have missed one because you have to do them in order. You know what I mean? And so, I already did that, and this isn't happening, and where's this thing? And so I was getting, really flustered, and I goofed it.
I missed that part.
I was a mess. But I was just so then I tried, of course, 20 minutes later, I'm like, well, let me just try it again, and, then it was fine. But luckily, I had already talked to the chat room, because I was streaming it, and I explained, that I was in a heroic area solo anyway, so before I even went in there, I'm like, look, I probably am going to go in here and die, and I'm going to cut the stream, and they're like, no, let's watch you die. So I left it on. So they were already prepared that it was going to be sloppy, so it was fine. It's okay. And yeah, so I'm playing my bounty hunter. I'm about to leave Drummond Cass now. I've got everything done on that planet, which is it's the planet after the starter planet, and then I'm getting my ship now, finally, and I think probably, what do you go after that, Tatooine, or...
Do they give you the option?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to the ship
maybe
yet. Oh, maybe Nar Shaddaa is after.
I think they give you the option between, or Nar Shaddaa might be next, and then after Nar Shaddaa,
they usually give you two, but one is a little bit lower level.
Yeah,
than the other.
Yeah.
And then my son wanted to start Jedis together. He wants us both to be consulars and play Jedis together. So we started them last night, and then tomorrow I have off work. So we're going to go for a run in the morning and then play Star Wars: Old Republic together all day with our Jedis. I don't know if I'm going to stream it because I'm not a very patient person. I don't really want everyone to see me being a horrible mother yelling at my kids the whole time. You're not healing.
Play a role.
That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do.
Learn how to play better.
Yeah.
You're grounded.
No, but
I are bitching in chat about pugs.
Not to derail at all, but I desperately need to get another headset for my daughter. You're right there with your son when you play, right? He's in the same room.
Yeah. If you are watching on the YouTube or live, that monitor in the corner there, that's his computer right there, right behind me.
Right. My daughter, when we play Guild Wars 2, she plays in the other room on my wife's computer, and it's either I have to walk out there and tell her what she's doing wrong, or I have to yell, and it seems really bad if I'm yelling.
That picture you walking. Hey, what the fuck?
So I really want to get a headset so we can just Skype while we play, because whew.
Yeah, I play with I just
love that Skype.
I put one earphone off so I can hear him and then hear the game. So yeah. She does okay, but she's constantly I don't know what to go do, and it's she's 9. I don't expect her to really
totally get. And like she sees on the map, well, I've got all the hearts in this area. It's like, well, you're not seeing this part on your map that you don't have uncovered, or yada yada yada. So I definitely want to get some better communication. But are you enjoying the bounty hunter storyline?
So far, yeah.
So far, yeah.
I mean, it's still very early. Like, there's not much to it yet.
Right. Yeah.
On that early planet there, like, let me think where. Well, I'm in the big hunt. That's what that one is.
Oh, right. I do remember starting that one.
Yeah. Actually, personally, it's not that interesting. I like the trooper one better, since it's the mirror class, I would call it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I ever played the trooper.
The trooper one's really well. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it starts off and gets you pulled in like right at level 10 there, where.
Yeah, that one starts strong.
Yeah.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Huh? What?
Oh, I was just saying Snape kills Dumbledore.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I guess I shouldn't worry about ruining it. The game's been out for a few years, right? But yeah, that one's the trooper one like pulls you right away. And like honestly, maybe it's just me. I don't really care about the big hunt and the one guy that I'm supposed to be like in it for. I met him like the first day I played, the first day I met him. So like I barely knew the guy. So yeah, I don't know. And Mako, my companion character, just annoys me. Like, oh. Yeah. So I'm like, I just kind of want her to shut up all the time. Like,
that's what I'm running into with my agent story. I love the actual story, but my companions suck so far.
She plays well, but she'll say stupid things like we'll be killing some animal, like, and she's like, yeah, I'm not just a cute sidekick. I'm like, I'm a girl too, bitch.
Trying too hard.
What are you saying?
I'm a tough
What
girl.
am I? She's saying I'm ugly. That's all right.
The only other woman in the galaxy.
Yeah.
I don't like her.
So, but then the other thing too, it's like, why are you fronting in front of this stupid animal? Like, just it doesn't know. But anyway.
That raccoon.
Yeah. Like, whatever. That's all I got.
Well, good.
I'm looking forward to. I did find out. I talked to my group, my D&D group, last weekend, and the people that I'm supposed to be doing a weekly with, and we just kind of figured we're gonna put it on hold till we're higher level and can do some of the later stuff together as J-Dub suggested. And actually, this fall they're releasing that thing where people can sidekick and what have you in the game. So it'll
it's gonna get really weird when all that stuff happens.
Yeah. But it'll happen, so no need to rush it. I'll just enjoy the story and help out people when I can.
Well,
that's in what game?
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Did you say that was in Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh. No.
She was referring to her Dungeons and Dragons.
People I play Dungeons and Dragons with play Star Wars: The Old Republic too. Sorry, no, it was ambiguous. I do that.
I should have figured it out.
I haven't been playing.
He hasn't eaten much today. He's drinking beer. So yeah.
It's these shakes.
Gonna shake it off.
We're about to be done with MMOs and just start talking about 80s movies, people. Like, we're that close, just going over the edge.
You want to do that?
Well, I definitely want to hear about this Albion Online stuff at some point, because I got an email about it today, and I was trying to decide whether to do anything with it.
It's interesting. So, are you aware of what it is at all?
Just screenshots.
Okay, so it's an isometric view. It kind of seems somewhat in the vein of oh god, what's that old MMO that Broadsword is running now? Oh,
UO.
Yeah, kind of like that. And it's very sandboxy, where you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can build houses, you can build structures. And I got in the alpha. The summer alpha is going on right now, and I kind of bounced in with Merrick, who is part of the multi-playing kind of forums group. And it's pretty what I like about it is it's really intuitive. So when I popped in, you don't really get given much direction. It gives you some basic idea. Here's how to harvest stuff. Like, you can chop down trees, you can skin animals, and you craft stuff with that. But you can you don't make a class, you make weapons, and whenever you equip it, that's what you basically are. So you can make a wizard stave, so you can cast magic, or you can just use a sword and board. And there's PvE zones and there's PvP zones, and it sounds like a big focus of the game is mass, large scale PvP. But one thing I really like about it, and this is going to sound kind of weird, is the art style. It really reminds me of Age of Empires Online, which I loved the way that game looked. And this looks like that. It runs great, and with all settings on max. But it's just kind of an open, do whatever you want. You can build houses, you can build farms. That's about as far as I've gotten with it. But the summer alpha is only running for another couple weeks, I think. So I don't know if it's worth it to buy access at this point.
Are they going to wipe all that stuff?
Yeah, they're gonna do wipes, and they're gonna start beta, I guess, in the beta stages in the fall. But there's gonna be wipes between all of that, so none of it's gonna carry over. And I think it's $50 to get into the game right now, but that gets you in future betas.
But from playing a little bit, are you excited about when the game actually launches and you can jump back in?
Totally, yeah. It seemed like that type of open sandboxy type of experience, but where it all made sense to me right away of what I could do and what I wanted to do, even though it wasn't really throwing traditional quests at you. You could go get like orders to make stuff, but it's really open ended in what you do.
And you don't think there's going to be a lot of griefing like UO had?
I'm not exactly sure how that works with stuff you make, but Merrick was explaining to me the zones that I've been in right now are PvE only. And they're pretty clearly marked of when you're going into areas that are not going to be. I don't think someone can come and destroy your stuff in these safe zones, but in the larger ones, yeah, I think they totally can. But I don't know. I don't have an idea right now what the percentage is of PvE versus PvP zones. I've only been in PvE zones so far, and it's not traditional levels either. You get proficient at stuff as you do it. But I don't know. Like I was playing and I thought, okay, I wanna make a wizard outfit and gear. So that's kind of my focus right now, and I've been having fun trying to get there.
That's neat.
Yeah, I think it's really unique, and I think it's done well so far. It's totally playable. I didn't run into a bunch of bugs. It's only alpha, so
you're playing this on PC, right?
Yeah, but it's going to be cross-platform with Android and stuff too, and I don't know if iPad is going to be one of them. But
I had seen iOS.
Okay, I don't think that's there yet. I think there was an option if you wanted to download Android, you could. I don't have any Android stuff, but yeah, that's it. That has me intrigued as well. I don't know how it would play because it's very.
Is there a lot of input from mouse and keyboard with it?
Yeah, all your combat and stuff, but again, it's kind of over the shoulder, top down, so it's not like a 3D where I guess you don't need that amount of fidelity. Right. I guess it would be playable.
Well, I played a MMO on the iPad that was it looked almost just like World of Warcraft.
Was that Chaos and whatever, or Order and Chaos?
Yeah, I think that might have been it. And it played really good, and it played just like WoW, and it was kind of crazy that you could just do it on an iPad.
I did that too, yeah, and I was pretty impressed with it. So this should play even better, given the fact that it's not a 3D.
It's top down. You can just point to where you need to go, and
I love the idea too that it's cross-platform because that's what I've always kind of wanted. I like the idea of Order in Chaos, but I never could get into it because it's only on the one platform. But I would really like to be able to be playing a game like that and then also pick it up and take it with me when I just have my iPad with me and
on the shitter at work.
I was thinking more lunchtime, but yeah, I guess so.
You can eat lunch in there too. Nobody's stopping you.
You're so lonely. Aww.
Sit there chewing on a sandwich.
His pineapple pizza.
No joke.
Staring at the wall in the bathroom.
No joke. We used to have someone at work that did that.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. It was a gross situation.
Anyway, I am not much for isometric gameplay, but from what I've heard about it so far, from Merrick and then from Jason, I'm totally I'm gonna probably wait for it to go the free route, and then because isn't it free to play at launch?
I don't know.
Well, I'll wait till launch.
I would assume so because there are some bonuses that I get where I get so much premium time. So I would assume it's free
Probably
with the
cash shop stuff.
Yeah, I need to. I don't think there's any sort of like. I see people posting video and all that. I might just look in the NDA or whatever, and I might stream some of it this week.
Yeah, make sure you can.
Summer Alpha shuts down, but yeah, just to give people a little bit more of an idea of what it is.
You gonna look into that for your Friday night stream?
I don't know. I can't tomorrow because we're busy. But,
we're going to the Detroit City Football Club.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
But
just soccer. It's soccer, people. It's not really football.
Well, maybe I'll stream
just
something
play
tomorrow
some
night.
EverQuest.
Yeah.
Play some EverQuest. It's only $14.99.
There you go.
I don't know about that. You get refer a friend or something?
You should. I
think you might.
I think 19 of 21 expansions or something crazy. Like, I think they must have started giving you like free expansions because I didn't pay for 19.
I actually went back when Landmark and EverQuest Next were making, like, you couldn't get into Landmark yet. It was a long time ago, but not a long time ago in the scope of EverQuest. And I went back to EverQuest then, and I was like rolling in all the nostalgia. So I am one of those people that will do things like that from time to time.
How do you? You have to run out of ideas after 21 expansions. Is one of them like Order of the Couches, where it's just like, look at all these couches. We're introducing so many couches.
Pretty much so. I don't know. It's like it's almost impossible to go back and play at that point because when I went back to play the game that was like all there at some point, like I had no clue where to go or what to do or.
But isn't the progression server being rolled out? Don't you start pre anything? You're like right now in the original game, and Kunark's not in yet, even.
Right. So they're going to release, I think, expansions every 6 months. And so, like, any features that were rolled out during those expansions won't be rolled out until then. So, I mean, it's like there's no auction house. There's, like, no nothing.
You can go home again, people.
I think the last big update to the game was where they were giving everybody Spirit of the Wolf, so it was couch to sow.
Fuck yeah.
You're welcome. I've not been playing Guild Wars. Well, other than with my daughter, I've been playing some Guild Wars 2, but not been playing any SWTOR.
That's all right.
Okay.
Because I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 again.
That's all right. We know that like you're gonna change every day. It's fine. We do it too.
Fine.
We do it too. It's fine. It's the MMO show, not the one MMO show.
That's true. But yes, my gypsy ass has migrated over to Final Fantasy again. I don't know. I know I can't even. I've never maxed a level in that game, so I'm not to the point where I can enjoy the expansion content yet. And this time around, I completely did something different.
Just run some Fates, and you'll be there in no time. Bam.
I'm sure. I actually am going through the content, and like I said, I've completely gone about this experience this time in an entirely different way. I'm not playing a melee class, which is what I typically play. I'm actually playing a conjurer to start with. I'm going the healer route. I want to try scholar. I typically don't play healer classes, and I've taken kind of the approach of I'm going to do as much of the content as possible.
That'll help you with dungeons.
What's that, the healer?
Yeah,
that was part of my thought. I was debating between a tank or a healer, and last time I was going for tank, so I figured, and I wasn't really enjoying it. And this time I'm going healer. So far, really don't like the combat of it solo, but I'm pushing onward as far as possible so that I can get to the point where I'm doing some group stuff, because I figured that's where I'll actually see some enjoyment. But yeah, the combat so far kind of sucks, but I'm enjoying actually the content of the game. But so we'll see how long it lasts. I really want to get to the point of doing some dungeons. And then I guess I'll report back next week. See if I'm.
Sounds like a recipe for success.
I know. Yeah, it's not doing great so far, but there's so much about the game that I really like, and I think that's why I keep checking it out, hoping that I get to some point in it where I can feel the enjoyment that I see other people having. But like the crafting, I just love so much.
Yeah,
the game is so damn pretty. There's some goofiness about it that I really, really enjoy. It's just the combat's just not all that fun to me. I think that's what really bums me out about it.
I'm kind of jealous too because people are bonkers for that game.
I know. There's got to be something there that I'm not seeing yet, and it's probably because I have not reached that end game content. That's what I've read time and time again, is that the end game in that is amazing.
Yeah, the dungeons are fantastic. So if you can get into where you have like a guild with friends, which you do belong to a guild that has lots of people in it,
Yeah, I know, but funny thing about that is that I had to buy another. I hate
them.
No,
the funny thing is about that is.
No, I'm not in a free company right now, which is the guild in the game. But
oh, you didn't join?
Not yet, because I had to start a new account.
Why'd you have to start a new account? What happened there?
I could not recover my account for some reason. I don't know if it got hacked. I don't know what the whole deal was, but I was pretty sure what my password was, and I looked in my emails from the last time I did a password recovery, and I found out what the account username was. Could not recover it, and when I tried to recover it to my email address, it gave me a completely different username, which was apparently one of mine, given the name on it. But what I'm guessing is what happened was I did a free trial on the PS4 and created an account on there.
When you do that, does it transfer it maybe?
Something got messed up, and it could very well have been my fault.
Their whole account system sucks.
Their account system
it is really confusing to start and stop things. Yes,
I remember it was fighting to get my account going a couple months ago. I had to call and talk to somebody.
That's why I ended up with 2 accounts. I ended up with 2 accounts too. Remember?
I don't get that. I haven't found a game yet that I'm going to call someone over.
Oh.
No, and I didn't. I sent a ticket in for support and explained my whole situation and what I thought was the problem. And then finally, a day and a half later, I got a response linking me to the password recovery thing that I've already used 5 times.
Oh my God,
I was like, this doesn't help at all. And then they sent me another follow-up email asking me if I wanted to fill out a survey when I'm debating if I want to or not. But I've kind of moved on from it and got over it. I figured it was like $15 for a month's sub. It was like $20 for the game. At that point, like a day and a half later, I just wanted to play the damn game.
That's exactly what happened to me at launch. I had,
God,
I don't even remember. I'm sure it's in one of our old shows what happened, the whole detail thing. But I remember, like, I ended up just like, screw it, I'll start a whole new thing. And I think I got hacked because I didn't put the thing on it, the protection.
And the one-time password.
I got banned. And so by the time recovery, because it was like this, we don't need to go into this now, but I ended up with 2 as well.
Sure. And that was and I think if I was trying to get back an account that I had a higher level character on that I was trying to get to play again, I would have cared more. But I knew going into it I was starting fresh. So at that point, I was just like, screw it. I'll pay the extra $5 that I would have anyways. So, yeah, we'll see. I'll report back next week and tell you how I'm enjoying it or not. And
you can tell us what game you're playing next week.
And I can tell you what game I'm playing next week.
I would like to talk really quickly about, because I didn't look into it, but it piqued my interest. The whole Elder Scrolls Online Imperial City DLC. Holy shit, you guys. Yeah. Dark Age of Camelot, DF in Tesso. Is that what? Like, I need more explanation because, like you said, all these like buzzwords.
I kind of do too. I really would love to get somebody on the show that plays Elder Scrolls Online like way more in. What's the word I'm looking for?
Just more. The place.
I was trying to look for a big word in my head and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone that actually knows what's going on in the game. But the Imperial City is some DLC coming, and it appears that there are sewers under the Imperial City that... With couches in them. Couches with pineapples on them. Because the pineapples just go right through you into the sewer. And there is... PvP down there. You have to unlock the ability to go into the sewers, and I could be totally butchering how this works, but it sounds like you have to own so many forts to unlock the ability to access the sewers, and in the sewers there is open PvP. Sounds a lot like Darkness Falls from Dark Age of Camelot.
Is this in the game already?
No, it's not. It's DLC that's coming end of August or beginning of August.
Is it free DLC or is it paid DLC?
I want to say I don't think so.
That's what I need to know.
But I don't know. But I know that there are people that really like the PvP in the game because there is like the 3-factioned PvP.
That's the awesome part that happens
I played some.
Did you?
Game.
Yeah, I played some maybe about a couple weeks ago, a month ago, and I enjoyed it. I log in every once in a while.
He plays like a large mix of games that he does not cover on the show constantly. It is ridiculous how many MMOs he plays.
But yeah, on top of that, they, from what I've picked up from Reddit, there's world bosses, but there's not really a whole lot of news on that end. But like a lot of people are hoping that it's something like Legion and the other bosses from Darkness Falls, that they're just these big difficult bosses that are going to soak up the time and get your attention, and you have to basically start a raid to go down in there, and as you're doing this raid, the dungeon can flip to the other side and you can get invaded by the other side, and it just sounds amazing.
I like that. For people who don't know, it's exactly like that. In Dark Age of Camelot right now, you could log in and pay to play, sure, and you go into Darkness Falls, and whatever realm is controlling it at that time has access to all of the benefits in that dungeon. It's a big dungeon, and as you progress deeper and deeper, the 3 different realms actually start from your entryway. It's rather low level, and then as you progress to the center of the dungeon, it gets more and more and more and more difficult with mobs, and the loot is really good. That's why people fight over it. And so then if there's a turnover in RVR, realm versus realm, where another side wins the next week or whatever the time period is, then the doors for that side open up and the doors for your side shut. But anyone who's in that dungeon when that happens stays in there. And so usually what happens is there's this massive battle because the team losing it totally goes in there, and the team winning it is totally going in there to clean it out, and there's this big clash and PvP fight. And the really fun part is like sneaky people, like infiltrators, will stealth and hide and log when they know they're going to lose it, and they'll wait like 3-4 days and then log in again on that character. And so there will still be enemies in there like that whole week going around and ganking and killing people. So
so good.
And it can be frustrating, but it can be really, really awesome. Anyway.
Good times.
All right.
Pineapples.
Pineapples. It's pineapples, people.
It is totally pineapples.
It's totally pineapples.
I hope, I want to see some more info on it. Like I said, I'd like to get somebody on the show that knows more about it than I do.
We know people.
We know people. We'll have to try to find somebody.
Invite somebody.
But that is all I know about that. Is there any other MMO talk before we move on? I'm going to take that as a no.
That sounds like a no.
That's a no. I do.
Definite no.
That's a yes.
No, this is after the show here. I do have a few of those links for the San Diego Comic-Con mounts for Star Wars: The Old Republic to give out.
Oh, cool.
You give out a link, and 5 people can just use that link to get them out. But they've been going through Twitter a ton, so most people have them. But I have a few I can give out on the live chat after the show. But
what is the mount?
It's a speeder. I actually have a picture.
It's got a bunch of lights on it.
No, well, it does.
Yeah, it does. Totally does.
I don't think it does. Let me show you.
I was using it this morning. I was fucking riding around on it.
It kind of has a display. Let me see here.
Like the forest speeder?
It's let me see. We'll see what it is if you go to one of the live events called the Cantina events, I think it is, and you sign up and register there, then and they have them like at San Diego Comic-Con and like Gamescom and stuff, and they have a different mount at each, they have different codes for different mounts at each and every one you do. So, but the thing is then if you go to it, you start a chain reaction. If you go to the event, you get this code, and you can give it out to 5 people. Well, then when they register and claim that code, they get a code and can give it to 5 people, and so on and so on and so.
Like a virus.
Yeah. So a lot of people. Oh, here it is. Get your Sator comic Here it is. Let me see.
Do they have a code that'll give you like your login info back? Because that's what I need.
You lost all your stuff.
I think I talked about that last time. No, I had that little digital thing somewhere.
Oh, that's right.
I think it's broken.
You can remove that really easily on their website.
Do you have to have it working?
No, I removed mine. I couldn't find it, and I removed it, then found it. But no, you don't even have to call anybody or chat with anybody. There, you can kind of just go in and verify it's you and remove it on the website.
I just need to figure out my password. Wait, who does this game?
It's EA, BioWare.
Yeah, BioWare.
Origin?
Yeah.
You know, funny enough, like this week I got an email from Origin and possibly a hacker. I don't know. But it said, you know, we've detected some funny stuff with your account. So here, change your password. So you know what I did? I changed my password. I might actually be able to log in.
There you go.
If it's legit,
or the hacker has my favorite
Or the
password.
hacker has your stuff. I don't know if I'm giving out too much of my personal information here by having this up on my screen. So I'm going to move it. And that's what the speeder looks like. I don't know. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah,
look at all those lights on the side.
They're not. I didn't think it was that.
No, I'm just saying there's lights.
Yeah.
I don't. It doesn't look bad. It looks cool.
I like it.
Some people like lights.
Yeah, I like lights.
I was riding around on it today.
I thought it was pretty cool looking. I also liked that it wasn't pink and purple like the last events one was when I Googled it and found out about this. So
it looks like an electric razor almost.
Yeah.
Driving around and shaving the land.
It's better than the
space razor.
It's much better than the collector's edition mount you got. That little.
Oh, that thing sucked.
Like hover. It's weird.
Like you're riding around on one of those.
It was weird. I don't know.
I think that Job.
Segway? Like a futuristic Segway? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Space Segway.
Speaking of Segway and shaving, the ultimate razor called the Shavier. Should that be a thing?
That could be a thing.
That's good.
Yeah, could be.
The Shavier.
The pieces are there.
We're there with we have a concept, you know. We just need some details.
Cross shape,
like a good razor.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been seeing these commercials for like 5 blades in one, and I'm thinking we need to jump the gun on this and have like 14 blades in one. Just like nail that market.
We took all the blades from all the other shavers and put them in.
We need to have blades that have razors on them.
Ooh. Like a good razor, State Farm shaves hair.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
Go to break. Good.
Done. All right.
But we didn't talk about Rocket League.
We talk about Rocket League every week. It's not even
I
an MMO.
just want to say that it's still fucking awesome.
It's not an MMO.
It's pretty great. You know, that could totally be... That could be a great just esport because it's one of those games.
It's gonna be.
And that's great because it cuts through it. You know, I like watching MOBAs and stuff, but it's hard to watch because the way the camera tracks everywhere. This is like a sporting event. It just you can watch and
ESL already picked it up. It's going to be an esport, and it's going to be amazing. Oh yeah,
it's cool to see that game
fun
get
to watch.
a bunch
Matt
of
loves
fans.
it. Our son, he thinks it's awesome. But
yeah, we played a bunch yesterday. It was fun.
It's awesome. That's really all I had to say about Rocket League. It's still
we want to
amazing.
tell you it's still awesome, people.
Yeah. If you haven't tried it, Jason, have you checked out the season?
No, I haven't played any online. I just played
Check that out. It's actually pretty cool. Well, I'm not talking online.
Okay.
It's a single player season. Like you pick a team, you pick your logo, and you can change the name of your team, and then you go through like a bracketed season, or not a bracket, but you go through a season of playing. I am assuming that it ends in some sort of like bracketed tournament the way it's set up, but it's pretty neat. It's a neat little addition to the game that they didn't really have to put in there at all, and I think it adds to it if you're just wanting to play offline. So.
Okay, cool. I'll check that out.
Any news from the Clash of Clans clan?
Huge news!
Huge news!
Huge news! So last week I was so bummed because like everyone left and it was just, well, not that everyone left. It was me and my friend Tony and his daughter and like my son, when I tell him to play, plays. So like we can't do any wars or anything because we're just too inactive. So I started a fake account and it was still just not enough to keep any activity going to win any wars. And then I called Paz, Paz Zalupo,
Old school.
I got a Paz promise that he would bring in enough people so we could go to war. He's like, don't worry, I got some people. We'll bring. I'm like, okay. I go, remember, this is family friendly. You can't just go bring in around your normal little dude bros that come in swearing at everybody. And he's like, no, these are good guys. They're not even like actually gamers. He works with all these people. I'm like, you work with 15 people that play Clash of Clans. He's
some
like,
EVE Online fools.
Yeah, we had some issues there. That we didn't mix well culturally with that crew. But he delivered. I swear, like within like 2 days, I had we're up to like 13 active accounts, and we've won a war already. We've gone into our second war. It's like awesome. And he gave me a name for my Boom Beach game where I can go in, and I joined up with the same group that he's playing in there. And this is you guys are bored. I can tell you're bored. It's fine. But I'm
trying to log into the account. I'm sorry.
I'm very excited about this.
That's fine. You can be. That's
so
great.
that
You're
is.
allowed.
Huh?
You're allowed to be excited.
I'm really happy that I have new life in my Clash of Clans group, and we're winning wars again. Woo. And they're really nice dudes, so.
That turns out well
for
everyone. That's good.
Yeah.
Way to go, Paz.
Paz promises. They always.
Paz promised. Came
20% of the time, he comes through all the time. By the way, Paz promises to be on the show next week.
Okay.
So there you go.
Well, stay tuned for
what a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
we're gonna
for people unfamiliar with the Paz Promises thing I keep dropping, or Paz Lupo at all, because maybe, you just found us with the MMO show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in for a treat.
Well, on that cliffhanger, we're going to call tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody got anything else before we go?
I have nothing. I thought we were going to talk about Rad and I thought we were going to talk about the great.
That's after show talk, man.
Okay,
but not a long after show because it's bedtime.
Okay.
Yeah.
A quick after show.
But everybody go watch Rad.
Everyone should go. I've never seen Rad.
And Flight of the Navigator.
I do like Flight of the Navigator.
And Last Starfighter.
I like Last Starfighter.
Oh yeah. I was just thinking it's about time to watch that again.
And the Explorers.
Yeah.
Don't
I like the Explorers.
Explorers is awesome.
For someone who never is up on movies or TV, you're giving us a lot of projects. You're listing them off.
This is just speaking for my youth.
Oh, okay. But you don't actually expect us to watch them all.
No.
Okay.
No. Explorers, yeah, but that's awesome.
Okay, so off topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh no, wait. You got one for the show still?
Oh, I don't know if it is or not. PAS, is that your little security token?